Oh, I thought the boob armor was a...
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the anime boob armor was on point.
What was that? There are many things you have not seen.
The Great Wall is the only barrier keeping the world safe.
Well, I don't know about you, but I learned an awful lot about Chinese history today.
Me too, me too. One of my least exposed historical facets.
Yeah, I'm glad that they took the time to make this documentary. It was very informative.
Extremely accurate. I wish they had a narrator like Morgan Freeman, though. That would have just been the icing on the cake.
Yeah,
that is the Great Wall.
Yeah, the Great Wall was fantastic. Do you want to start?
Sure thing. So... I think we're both on the same page with what I'm going to say first, and it's that it's not a good movie.
Oh, no, absolutely not, no.
But it's certainly an entertaining movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you're going in with the expectations that this is going to be a great film from like a, you know, an actual filmmaking perspective, stop it. Stop it now. But if you're willing to accept a popcorn flick that has sort of these Chinese influences, then you're in for a good ride. And in my opinion, I legitimately enjoyed the film, just like I would any other sort of summer blockbuster, I suppose. I really liked the art style and stuff. I liked the sort of Chinese influences when it came to the fight sequences and stuff. I thought it was very reminiscent of, like, as we were saying, like Dynasty Warriors, in that it was... air quotes accurate, I suppose. Her using her spear at one point to like springboard off the ground, and then having the spear caught by Matt Damon so she could be pulled up.
But that's, you know what though, I kind of wish that the robots. I kind of wish that the bad guys hadn't have been dog lizards, because that it, like, if you go for something more humanoid, like from like the Mummy, where those are like Anubis monsters, like not necessarily human, but humanoid. Right. So you can get some more of that really awesome kind of choreographed and heavily stylized martial arts the Chinese films are so good at delivering on. I felt like that would have elevated a lot of the action to a little bit higher than it was here, because to me it felt like it was a lot of CG and not very good CG at that. Yeah, some of the CG was it was pretty atrocious, but yeah, like I like the art style, I like the way it was all kind of executed, I like the sort of, I guess, cultural inflection, if you will. I'm very happy that there was no bullshit subplot where, like, the female commander and and Matt Damon like fall in love. Yeah, no, and they share a romantic sunset kiss. Yeah, like that would have ruined the movie for me. I wouldn't have ruined it, but I'm glad they didn't go there. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but apart from that, yeah, like it was a fun little film. It had some really interesting like imagery and stuff. I thought like the kind of tech they were using was really cool and inventive. Yeah. Like it's stuff you haven't really seen in movies before, which was nice. Well, there's a reason we haven't seen that in movies before. You know, you say that, but like, so there was a section where they were using these giant scissors basically on the wall, and it looks, in my opinion, it looks cooler than literal giant scissors. But like, I know you were laughing when that happened, but I was thinking, you know, if Tian can pull up a chain underwater to take down a bunch of boats, which is based on an actual historical thing, by the way. I know. If that can happen, then why can't they have giant scissors on the Great Wall? Like, I just thought it was interesting, and it really, the third act I thought was really intense when it came to the action. Like it stepped it up, but not in the typical way where it just multiplied everything times 100. It sort of became like this death squad kill team having to sneak in and do their bit. Buy hot air balloon. I like that. Again, it was all very like inspired by the culture, air quotes, right? Like that's what I liked about it. Yeah, it's super inspired. So this movie is basically Lord of the Rings meets Starship Troopers, but set in ancient China. Yep. Get behind that. Except that in Starship Troopers, the shameless propaganda was part of the joke. And in this one, it's straight up. Matt Damon at one point pulls over Pedro Pascal and he goes, "Wow, look at how at how awesome and disciplined this Chinese army is compared to our I mean, our European army. Matt Damon is Matt Damon and Pedro Pascal, who, by the way, is a master matador and uses his mad matador skills.
That scene was stupid. That was the one scene where I actually thought was dumb.
Oh no,
like,
that was my favorite scene.
Oh no,
that was my favorite. I wish the whole thing had been like that. But no, so those two are basically just there to jerk off all over how awesome China is. Like
yeah,
basically.
Yeah, more or less, yeah. And again, like you said, it's sort of propaganda-esque, which, okay,
oh, yeah.
Fair enough.
And by the way, this movie is completely racist, all right? Matt Damon isn't even European. What was he doing in this movie? But I mean, it was all right. I don't think I liked it as much as you did,
yeah.
But I did like it. It was like a decent, action adventure film, albeit very predictable.
Yeah.
I mean, the specific things that go on in the movie aren't predictable. You don't predict that there's going to be a
giant scissors in the wall.
Giant scissors, or a swan diving corps of women soldiers who jump off and do backflips off of the Great Wall in order to stab these
dual-wielding spears.
Dual-wielding spears, and then bungee jump back up to grab 2 more spears and try... Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, the specifics are hardly predictable.
I had a good laugh in this movie, but no, I mean, the setup of the movie... And then, at the end, the movie does a lot of cliches. Are we gonna bother with spoilers for this?
I think we can dive into it. I think, we've kind of given a good brief overview.
So Andy Lau somehow knows that by taking out the queen, it's going to just deactivate all the rest of these dog lizards, like the fucking battle droids at the end of episode 1.
Yeah, or the bugs in Starship Troopers.
Yeah, and it's a fun movie, but it raises so many questions. Where the fuck did these things? They're coming from Russia, I guess.
No. So again, it's. I actually like parts of this movie like that because it was sort of explaining this fake mythos where this greedy Chinese emperor or general or something was being punished by this asteroid that hits the ground, and then these monsters pour out of it to remind them every 60 years or whatever it was that know your place. I like that kind of stuff because it wasn't really stuff that we see or hear very often.
So my question is, what the fuck were they doing until the Great Wall got finished to repel these monsters? Because they even mention at the beginning of the movie that the wall took 1,700 years to build.
Yeah.
So how did the monsters not just instantly wipe out? Was it like in a video game where the enemies start off weak and then the more you fight them?
It's funny you say that because in the movie they actually talk about how they evolved. They were talking about how they evolved and they didn't believe it at first, but it was clear that they were evolving at this point. Huh. I wonder if this was the most well thought out popcorn flick there ever was.
No,
no, certainly not. But it. Again, by no means is it a good movie, but it's a fresh movie.
Yeah, I mean it's fresh until China makes a zillion more of these things, and it's
I guess, but you could say that about anything. Lord of the Rings was fresh until we got 1,000 movies. So you could say that about anything, and I'm glad to see something that wasn't a remake or a reiteration or a reboot. So. While I have my complaints about the film,
give it 10 years. They'll be rebooting the Great Wall.
Oh God! Yeah.
We're gonna get the American remake of the Great Wall. Only now it's Trump's wall over Mexico.
No. I don't know. I feel like you liked the movie because it was so bad it's good.
Yeah.
I think I liked the movie because it was just different.
Okay.
Yeah. It was. Again, it was fresh. I'm tired of seeing, the same action film over and over again. This could have been, and I think I was mentioning on the ride home.
You've never seen an action movie before where the horde of nameless, faceless monsters is defeated by getting a bomb into just the right place and deactivating all of them?
Okay, so I love that you brought that up because, yes, we've seen the same general thread of a plot multiple times, but you know how they say in storytelling there's only 4 or 5 stories, 7, 12 stories, whatever it is.
I don't remember.
Whatever it is,
something like that.
There's only so many stories. Visually as well as thematically, it didn't have any interesting you know, critiques on humanity or anything like that. But again, it's a popcorn flick. I'm not going to watch this movie
its
for
critique
intellect.
on humanity was China is better than every other country.
To be fair, they make all of our shit.
Yeah, it's true.
Including the next 10 years of blockbuster wall defense movies.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be a new genre, wall defense films.
Yep.
What else? I mean, when the armies actually fought and they were so synchronized, that was nicely choreographed. Because I get your point. Yeah, it would be nice to see some of that like kung fu style choreographed fighting. But the type of choreography we did get was nice. Some of the camera work could have been better, especially when they were backflip swan diving off the ledges.
Yeah, it was kind of hard to tell what was going on sometimes in the battle parts.
Yeah. So there was obviously room for improvement even in its popcornness. I mean, I'd recommend. I would genuinely recommend watching the film in theaters.
Oh man, I don't know if I would recommend it in theaters.
No?
I would say wait until it's out on Netflix. Get some buddies over and get some alcohol.
Yeah, get some beer flowing.
Have a good time because there's definitely no short supply of hilarious moments in this movie.
Yeah, that's for sure. I will say though, if you are going to watch it in theaters, curb your expectations. Don't go in expecting.
Oh yeah, no, we're
film.
hyping it. It's not a very good movie.
Yeah. It's a fun ride, just like you'd watch, you know, another Fast and Furious movie or another Transformers movie. That's how you approach the Great Wall.
Dog lizard, you gonna turn your back on family? The one who's got the bomb strapped to him.
Oh God, go watch this movie. Obviously, this is not a historically accurate film.
What are you talking about?
I don't